A very good morning to one and all present over here, teachers, school leaders, chairmen, directors. Thank you so much for joining on another Super Sunday workshop. Waking up in the morning, sitting for the session at 10 o'clock. I hope it's there with a cup of coffee. Trust me, another 40-45 minutes, we are going to get into the world of leadership and some special qualities for school leadership, and that too for secondary education, as spoken and written down by NCERT and NISHTA and various other courses, basically Ministry of Education, India. So we're going to talk about leadership as the primary focus today. A lot of philosophies, a lot of technical aspects, and definitely this cannot be concised in 1 hour. So this is going to be a prolonged series of workshops that will keep happening. But as of now, let us try to understand the overview or the bird's eye view of what does Ministry of Education have for school leaders who can be a principal, vice principal, coordinators, headmisters and masters, or head coordinators, HODs, head of the departments. What do NCERT have in order to inculcate few skills that are present or that are required for holding that leadership position in the school? That's going to be the agenda of the day. Thank you so much for participating once more, teachers. And last time we had discussed on personal and social qualities. Most of you who have filled up the reflection form before 6 o'clock, you will be receiving the certificate by next week, Monday, as it's a 15-day period, as you remember. If you have not received, wait for some time. If anybody did not receive the last week Sunday's work certificate, though most of you would have actually got it, please mail to swati@superteacher.in. SWATHI@superteacher.in. We'll put the mail ID on the chat as well a little later. You'll definitely receive your certificates. And these Super Sunday workshops have been started with an intention of providing an exposure towards the Indian education system and the various initiatives taken by the Ministry of Education in specific. And you will definitely, I'll make sure that the big theory papers that we have, 200 pages or 300 pages, and this particular school leadership workshop is nearly 30 hours program. Let us try to understand just about it in 1 hour. This can enable to kickstart a program by someone if anyone is interested out there. Yeah, so this is going to be the whole agenda. I would like to thank once more to all the people who participated. One important announcement: in case if any school leader or any leader for that matter or aspiring leaders would like to participate in the CPD program dedicated for leadership by Super Teacher, please do let us know on the reflection form. So there is a question in the reflection form asking about, would you like to participate? And considering the number of yes over there, the course will be started. I'm not starting any course as of now, but depending on the requirement, we'll be starting that. And this will incur a certain cost of, approximately 20 hours and around 5,000 rupees. This is the estimate right now. Maybe it will get lesser depending on the participation. That's the reason I'm doing this survey. Based on your input, we'll be making sure the course is rolled out. I'll announce this once more a little later in the session. Thank you so much, teachers. Let's quickly start with today. And now, what kind of leadership program will we have without a word heard by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam? Let's quickly watch a video on some of the great leadership attributes as spoken by Dr. APJ as such. Here we go. And I'm sharing the screen along with the sound.
I will give an incident. This is all of you who have assembled here, all of you. Remember this incident. 1979, SLV-3 satellite launch vehicle, I was the project director, mission director. My mission is to put the satellite in the orbit. Thousands of people worked nearly 10 years. I reached the Sriharikota, and it's in the launch pad. Countdown was going on. T-minus 4 minutes, T-minus 5 minutes, T-minus 1 minute, T-minus 40 seconds. Computer put a hold. Don't launch it. Computer says don't launch it. I am the mission director. I have to take a decision. Everything is on. Behind me there are 6 experts. They saw computer database coming in and screen, and they see the pictures in the screen. They said there's a problem. The problem is there's a leakage in the system, in the control system. But immediately calculation, no problem. We have got sufficient fuel and oxidation for control system. It controls the rocket to the required attitude, and we can go ahead. Now, of course, my expert's view, But I took the decision. Problem is mine. Finally, I took a decision. I bypassed the computer. I launched the system. Okay, I launched the system. This fellow went. First stage worked in a 4-stage rocket, and second stage got mad. It went to spin. Instead of putting the satellite in the orbit, it put in the Bay of Bengal. 1979, it was a failure. It was a failure. First time I experienced my failure. How do you manage the failure? Success I can manage. So at that time, a great man, a great leader, Professor Satish Dhawan, he comes to me, I am very tired working nearly for months. He wakes me up, come, let us go for a press conference. Press is meeting there, like this, number of people, world press, with photos, this and that, all the gadgets they are there. I was really frightened, I will be the culprit. Because I am the project director, mission director. What Satish Dhawan said, chairman, Indian Space Research Organization, said, dear friends, we have failed today. It's the first time I have to give all the success, all the failure is, I want to support my technologists and scientists and staff so that next year they succeed. So he took the whole blame himself. And then media asked, you have put Bay of Bengal so many crores, you have put it. Like that, a lot of criticism. He received the criticism. He assured them in a year we will succeed with our team. It's a very good team. Next year, here only interesting happened. Next year, July 18th, 1980, when he succeeded, Professor Dhawan said, you go and conduct the press conference. Do you follow what this means? It means when the failure occurred, the leader took it up. When the success came, he gives to his team. That's the first.
So that's about one of the greatest incidents of, I think some of you might already know about this, but look at the way the passion, the the loyalty that Dr. APJ had towards Satish Dhawan. I mean, if you do not earn that loyalty, that kind of conversation can never happen. I mean, each and every word was very powerful with a lot of passion, that this is how he did that, and that is why he's a great leader. So when we talk about leadership as an attribute, it's no, it cannot be written down on a piece of paper. It is more dependent on it. In fact, it's completely associated with the quality of your emotions. Now here, when we talk about leadership, it's just not about a principal in a school or an HOD in a school. Leadership quality needs to be present in each and every teacher. In a school setup, it's just not the teacher. It could be even an assistant staff who's present in a class. It could even be the support staff who work in who help the children during the dispersal or getting them to the assembly, including the security guard who's present in the school. Each and every person needs to possess that leadership quality in order to take the responsibility of whatever he or she is allotted with. And that's what this whole session is going to be about. Well, today our focus will be more oriented towards principle for a specific reason, because we're going to touch something called as leadership for learning as the theme of the whole session. Leadership for learning is the theme of the whole leadership training program by NCERT for our CBSE school principals. I'll repeat it, for our CBSE school principals, which includes ICSE as well. And in regards to that, they conducted a lot of training programs. One of the training program is an online training program, which is already available right now. It is there in the NEPA website. National Initiative for Education Planning and Administration. You know that, I think, yeah, NEPA, NCSL. I'll be showing that in some time. And also recently, I think all the principals would have received a circular called as Prayog. Did you receive that? Just put it on the chat if you have received it. The Prayog circular, which talks about, let me show you instead of, here we are. I'm sharing. Okay. And this will help all the principals out there to get an understanding of what's exactly happening. So this is it. I think you are able to see this. 7th June 2023, and this is an academic circular. Compulsory online training program Prayog for principals, July and August 2023. Yeah. Okay, okay. Oh, you have attended part one. Fantastic. So, dear principal, they've got the Prayog, like Pradhanacharya Yojana for Growth. It's a training program for CBSE principals containing details about the initiatives taken by the CBSE, which includes competency-based education. Very good training program. The content is present somewhere online, which I'll be sharing in some time. So, these are the batches that are present. So, this is Center of Excellence Region batch number Ajmer batch one, and you can see the list of schools. 3rd and 6th July ये हो गया है. 4th and 7th ये भी हो चुका है. 10th and 13th भी हो गया है. So do we have any other batch? Let's go down. Yes, we have. So where are we right now? We are there on 15th. So probably this one will be quite applicable to us. So Center of Excellence Patna में चल रहा है, प्रयागराज, इलाहाबाद में चल रहा है, पुणे में भी चल रहा है. And for Bangalore, it's happening on 3rd August and 7th August. Trivandrum. So on a similar fashion, you can see all these things. The principals are supposed to go to that particular Center of Excellence for joining the training program. And the list of schools are also mentioned. For example, I click on Bengaluru Batch 2. The moment I click on this, all the list of schools that are supposed to be part of this training program are present over here. You can see that Excellent Public School, Lokapur, Bagalkot, फिर बाद में Bangalore में you have got Royal International Public School, Neelmangla, or all the schools that are associated. I found around 150 schools for every batch approximately. So we might have 100 to 150 or 200 principals coming over there. This includes all the government schools also, though they have extended the invitation to nearly 550, 600 schools. Generally, it's a tendency that generally, you'll have around 150 principals having regular attendance. So I would request all the principals, if you're not aware of this, please, just look into the circular called as Prayog. This particular circular number 69, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, you can directly go to the CBSE website, click on archives, and you'll get to see the circular. And there, this training is happening. And this training is happening with some topics like competency-based education that are relevant for the upcoming academic year. This is with respect to the first development of Ministry of Education, taking an initiative only for principals to conduct training programs. First. Second, let's go with respect to slides where what does NEP mention about it? So for that, I would like to click on the slideshow once more, and let's go to the next slide. Okay. Okay. Great. So NEP 2020 para 5.16 also recommended that school principals and school complex leaders like Sahodaya complexes or Navodaya complexes will have similar modular leadership management workshops and online development opportunities and platforms to continuously improve their own leadership and management skills. These are arranged by them, and so that they can share best practices with on one another. Such leaders will also be expected to participate in 50 hours or more of CPD modules per year. So it's mandatory, covering leadership and management as well as content and pedagogy, with a focus on preparing and implementing pedagogical plans based on competency-based education. So this is the complete theme of the whole leadership training program, and it is considered to be leadership for learning. What does it exactly mean? Let us talk about it a little later. So this is NEP, and if there is any query on this particular thing, you can contact me directly. We are not going to talk about this anymore. Let's go further, teachers. So before getting into the actual workshop, let's understand the term leadership in actual. So what does leadership actually mean? We are going to talk from a layman's perspective, not from school perspective. The moment we talk about the leadership as a context or a concept, look at the way leadership in layman's language is understood to be an authority on someone with enough power or influence heading a group of people or an organization. This is what is written in the NCERT document. It very clearly states that it's the authority, it's the power, and it's the influence. These are the three things with which a leadership role can be executed very well. Now, when I say very well, I am talking about the execution of an activity, not the satisfaction of the people working over there. You know about countries like North Korea, where the leadership is totally autocratic, and we think that it's really bad. But the system has been working pretty fine. Nobody has, ever raised the complaint from that particular countries to say that come save us. But the situation in North Korea, it's like you can't imagine that that can happen in a country like India. If it happens, nobody will live. Probably people will suicide. To that extent, the country has got the rules of democratism, autocratic rule, dictatorship, I should say. So no, if you do not know about that, please Google on the leadership of North Korea. You will come to know a lot of things. Yeah. Now, keeping that in mind, power is an ability to change the behavior of other person with manipulation of reward and punishment. I think some of you might know about it. Some principals out there or leaders out there or HODs, agar kaam nahi kiya, if you do not do this, I'll make sure that you come to school half an hour early every time. Now, this is called as coercive power, personal harm. You're disturbing somebody's personal space of coming to the school on time. Maybe that could affect their health as well. Second is, suppose if you do not do the task, your remuneration will be cut, your hike will be reduced. That comes under the category of remunerative power, money oriented things. Third is normative power, based on rules and regulations. All of a sudden, if somebody is not comfortable with certain attire, like, but the school enforces because that is a uniform of a teacher. These are happening actually in many places. So that's with respect to normative power. It could also be your timetable, giving 8 periods on one day and only 1 period on another day, something like that. So which is normative power. Now, the moment you talk about power, these are the powers that a principal or an HOD or a coordinator actually hold. Now, just because they hold the power doesn't mean that they utilize it in this particular fashion. So the next area comes as authority. Now, authority is legitimized power where you have a reasonable excuse for each and every activity you do. For example, ma'am, I'm marking you absent because 3 continuous days you were late to school. Now there is a legitimate thing. It's fine. 3 continuous days are तो punish होने में क्या जाता है? It's okay. It's totally fine. So that's where authority comes into play. So where power is ability, authority is a right. Now this is what they talk about. And finally, the third point, influence. Now, influence is the most desired way of a leadership program to be executed. So influence is an ability to change the behavior of other persons without the manipulation of reward and punishment. Any activity that we do in the school need not have a punishment, and similarly every activity that we do in the school need not even have rewards, because only those attributes which comes without any expectation are done wholeheartedly. How many of the teachers out there here in this batch would have conducted so many science exhibitions, so many art and different forms of presentations in the school? Annual day function ho gaya, dance practice ho gaya. Do we really get paid extra? No, it's not about, the question is not that. Do we really expect the payment extra? No. Now, do we get really paid extra is a different story. But when we talk about, do we expect the payment? We don't. Now, that's where influence comes into picture. Now, when a teacher is performing something with her own will and gesture, and if this attribute is properly allocated to that teacher by a leader, by influence, that's where a leadership quality of that particular person begins to turn into a positive format. I'll talk about this in a detailed manner, but these are the areas under which the leadership can get cultivated in a positive manner. I'll show you some of the other areas in a detailed format. Maybe you would like to take a screenshot of this, but whatever I'm showing you, each and every word that I'm speaking is directly from the teacher training, school leadership training program by NCERT and Nishtha portal. I'll show where it is little later. So these are the areas under which a leader can get developed. So first of all, here we have context based, organizational based, academic structure and process based. Okay. And from with respect to the implementation for the students, learner centered, collaboration with stakeholders. This is with respect to implementation. Let us see this one by one in a very gradual manner, but in a fast paced manner. Context based all talks about diversity of student population and geography. Now, when we talk about a particular school leader getting appointed to, just imagine a city like Kolkata, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Delhi. Now, what would actually happen is the principal needs to have a keen understanding on the complete topography. What kind of children are going to come to my school? What kind of background are they from? You can even roll out a Google form asking certain questions that can help you understand the mindset of the people coming to your school. Now, this does not include only the students. This includes even the teachers. Now, you know this, right? I do not know how many of you talk like this, but generally, there are some discussions. South mein na schools बहुत strict होते हैं. वहां पे ना even now people teachers beat the children with the scales. There is a perception created, and it could be true. Why not? I mean, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Similarly, when we talk about Delhi is the schools are very high tech. This technology orientation in private schools is super high. Now we talk about the topographical influence. Now, why am I talking about this? A leader, before getting on into a school with the charge of all the responsibility, needs to understand the context space, which is diversity of student population and the geography. There is a separate format for this, which I'll be showing you a little later, but that's context based. Organizational based, when we talk about it, we talk about school size. Okay, there are so many classrooms, I can accommodate probably 3,000 children or 4,000 children. Resource upgradation and ICT labs, I've got 5 labs, 6 labs. How can I? So it's all related to the organization, the way your building is structured, what are the infrastructure that you have, how many students could be accommodated considering the safety measures. All these are related to administrative and managerial task. I'll repeat it, administrative and managerial task. It is a complaint in the current scenario by Ministry of Education stating that आजकल principals are more involved into administration and managerial tasks, that they're not really focusing on pedagogy and implementation. इसका मतलब क्या था? What does it mean? We'll talk about that in the following slides. Well, when we go to academic structure and process, there we talk about balancing academic and vocational streams. Academic is all about the concepts that you learn in textbook. Vocation is all about application of these concepts so that you become employable. Many schools out there here in Bangalore, I've seen with my limited travel, the principals have taken the children to various industries. They've taken the children to Hyundai as a company, an automobile company, Volvo as a company, and there the children learn the way of automobiles getting actually manufactured, literally looking at them live in front of them. I also happened to speak to one of the principals called Koeli ma'am in the morning from Kolkata, where the children were sent, around 50 children with 4 teachers were sent to the site where Chandrayaan 3 was actually getting the lift off. So they were able to see one lifetime of an experience where the children witnessed the rocket just going up. An amazing mission which is on the way right now, right? So these are some of the attributes that a principal can bring to balance the academics, that's the textbook, and the vocational streams. Vocational streams is all about employability factor of the skills that you learn. Continuous professional development for self and teachers. This is the beauty of leadership for learning. It seems that if you want a school child to learn something, I'll repeat it. If you want, Rashmi ma'am, as a school child to learn something, it seems that all the stakeholders who are involved in the process of the students learning should also learn forever in their life. That's why they say that all the leaders who are part of a school or education system are lifelong learners. That's quite interesting, right? Until the moment you stop learning, you as an individual stop learning, then your school system is going to get broken somewhere or the other. Look at the drastic change that the government has brought out with respect to competency based education. Unless and until a principal exactly knows about what CB is all about, do you really think that it'll be easy for a principal to have an authority on the teachers to say that do this properly? How do you really validate that? We can't do that, right? And that's why arranging CPD programs for teachers and principals is an important aspect. Well, the government is doing for the principal, principals are supposed to do it for the teachers. Nice, right? Then finally, designing a framework for leadership for learning. Now, whatever I'm showing you is some sort of a framework, but we'll have another framework also coming the line. Learner-centered approach, like ensuring safety and security of students, encouraging student voice and expression, improving student learning and learning outcomes. These are related to students, learner-centered. Finally, collaboration with stakeholders, parent-teachers meeting, having the principals meet, where one principal of a school in a community talks to another principal. There is a cross exchange program of students and teachers going to different schools. The multiple attributes. One very amazing thing that I have seen in few schools is called as team teaching. I'm not sure how many of you do this. So there was this school, I'm forgetting the name. What had happened was there was a class of grade 8, and there was a maths teacher sitting, science teacher sitting, social studies teacher also sitting, along with English teacher. 4 subject teachers are present in the same class, and they're talking about one topic. And one topic is being discussed from maths perspective, social perspective, science perspective, and English perspective. Just imagine the kind of diversity that we have in the class for one topic. Now, this was enabled by that particular principal of that school. If the principal cannot come up with new initiatives like this, then you are more like a manager or just an administrator. The role of the major role of a leader in a particular school, it could be a coordinator or HOD, whoever it is, including the principal. It's important to delegate the tasks. It's very important, of course, but what's more important is once the tasks are delegated, let there be a separate metric on monitoring them. In the meanwhile, start generating your own initiatives of coming up with new ideas to implement the plan. And that is why how does one become an effective secondary school leader ke liye? They're giving four important points. A leader of a secondary school needs to cultivate an overarching perspective on school leadership that incorporates an understanding on four key aspects. The first one, moving beyond administrative and managerial roles to leadership roles. I hope you're able to understand. Becoming a value leader, practicing leadership, which is the application, emerging as a leader by action. And some of the eminent leaders names that are mentioned in this particular document was Dr. Radhakrishnan, Sri Aurobindo, Swami Vivekanand, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Rabindranath Tagore, Mother Teresa, and now in fact Dr. Ritu Karidal. I have to talk about her as well, the woman behind the Chandrayaan 3 mission. She's also an amazing leader. You should listen to the way she speaks about her team and the way she did that. Nice. And I think the mission director was Mohan Kumar, I think. So you should watch that. You'll have a very good insight on how women in the industry are becoming an eminent leaders out there. So let's go one by one. Moving beyond administrative and managerial roles looks something like this. Watch this. So first of all, the moment let us imagine a situation where one of you actually become the principal. How about Mamta ma'am is becoming the principal today, and she could be a principal. I'm just, yeah. And on the first day when you take up that position of being a leader, the most important attribute is understand the administration, the existing way of the functioning of a particular school. It might take 1 week to understand, maximum, considering 2000 to 2500 students. If it's a government school, it might take hardly 1 day because the systems are already laid down. In case of a private school, every director, chairman has got their own vision and mission based on which the policies might change. Understand the administration. Now, once you understand the administration, you start, looking into the rules and regulations, and then you start to manage them probably in the second and the third week, which is becoming a manager. Maintain tasks and relationship. And finally, once you are 1 month or maximum 2 months old, that's where you start becoming a leader. Until that, you are also part of the learning process with all the other teachers and coordinators on who you are. So as an important leader out there, school leader, it's important to move beyond the administrative and manager roles to leadership. I would request all the principals out there to self-reflect on how many new initiatives you brought out in the last 3 to 4 months of this academic year. Think about it. Think about it. Suppose if the number of initiatives are very less, then think about what other tasks are you doing on a daily basis. Maybe it's being an administration or a management. It could be one of these. If you're doing that majorly, then try to delegate this task with the other people in the school. People are waiting to take it up. And then we can start becoming a leader. This is what is suggested as per NCERT as the first point. Let's go to the second one. Value leader. Becoming a value leader is all about following your inner talk. Now, what do you mean by this? It seems that when a child is born in a particular family, the brought up of that particular child is directly dependent on the parenting techniques. No, it depends on the behavior of a parent, and parents behavior change based on parenting. Now, that's a different story. But suppose if I have a son, and he's there, he's just 2 years old, 1 year old, or 3 years old, about 1 year basically, and he's doing his work. And parallelly, when he's doing his work, I come to my home with some frustration. I start scolding my wife. Indirectly, I'm sending a message to my child stating that if you are frustrated, you can scold. Now, this is the place where the students directly get affected without any learning given to them. I'm not teaching them anything, but when I do this, they learn automatically. Suppose if it's there in me that I come to my house, I politely talk to my wife stating that this is the problem. Could you please help me in giving me some good food or things like that, and try to bring a positive environment in the house? The child will also become exactly the same. Now, this environment in the house can be set up by the mother and the father, but the environment in a school can be set only by a school leader. So if a school leader out there has got this innate quality of being very positive and vibrant, you get inside the school, each and every person, you look at them and you just smile and greet them and wish them and come to the school, everybody is going to be very positive and happy about. You become approachable in nature, in reality. That's what becoming a value leader talks about. It says that you've got it, they categorize into 4 areas: values, beliefs, knowledge, and experience. Values of integrity. If you suggest a particular vice principal or HOD stating that हमने इतना fees लिया, we have taken a lot of fees, but we could not do so and so program. Let's return back the fees. It talks about the integrity of a school, and it is not just one activity. Series of small activities will contribute to this particular attribute. Then what do you believe in? Diversity as strength. Some principals very nicely said that I don't believe in having a separate classroom for slow learners and fast learners. I don't believe in having differently able students a separate class and normal students as a separate class. No, they believe that I want it to be one. All these will contribute to the mindset of the whole school. And entering the school itself, you will get that vibrations or aura of positive or negative or whatever sort of feeling you're getting. It's directly dependent on a school leader. That's becoming a value leader. Yeah, let's go with the next attribute. The third is talking about practicing leadership. This is application. This is quite common. Most of us already do this. The first step towards any practice is setting direction, which is all about the vision and mission statement. Very simple. Once I've written that, let us start building relationships and developing people, which is about in every school, there'll be a principal who will be very keenly dependent on the vice principal and also one or two teachers. Though it is a debatable topic, but some principals out there will have very close associate teachers, which generally gets converted into politics by other teachers. No, this is a different topic altogether. When we talk about conflict resolution in one of the Super Sunday workshop, we'll talk about this as well. But as of now, once you are dependent on a person who is implementing your ideas, who is the end implementer? It's the teacher, right? So when you have close relationship with the teacher, you will be exactly able to measure the pain points, the success rates of all those initiatives taken ahead. So that's why it's very important to have multiple designations in the school. Designations does not really mean that it needs to have head associated with that. It could be a coordinator, or it could be SPOC, SPOC, single point of contact. It could be anything like that. Next is when you do all these things, automatically the school is there in the developmental path, which is developing the school. Finally, improving the instructional program. Now, this is very interesting because have you come across a situation, teachers, wherever you have got multiple people in a particular process, they do their work and they don't ever interchange the work. I'll tell you this even precisely. If you go to Tirupati or any temple or any other place, suppose if I have want to get laddus, what we actually do is there is a separate counter to get the laddu token. There is a separate counter to pay for the laddu token. There is a separate counter where you get that receipt, give it to the person, and they will give you a bag in which you can collect the laddus. Are you able to understand? The task is one, but the people are multiple. That means there are multiple checkpoints allocated by by the authority, whoever it is, by the leader, with multiple people in the line, so that the instruction is properly flowing. Even a simple restaurant where self-service happens, you just first go to the menu card, you check, and then you tell the person what you want. You pay that, you get a receipt, and then you go to the person where they distribute it, and then they give you the actual food of whatever you ordered. The point here is, just like there we have the factories where we have got different departments where the materials are getting transferred with one or the other developments. The process in a school is also supposed to get transferred, and this particular process is called as instructional designing, improving instructional program. A very small word, but trust me, this is playing the most important role in stress management of most teachers and principals. And that is with respect to practicing leadership, the application. Let's come to the final point: emerging as a leader by action. Yeah, exactly. That's called as a system as well. You're absolutely right, Manju ma'am. Uh, okay, that's great. Leaders by position and leaders by action. Okay, now this is something very important for all the people who just got promoted, who are about to get promoted, something like that. Watch this. Leaders by position and leaders by action is two different things. Leaders by position are those people who got promoted or hired by a management to become the school leader. That's great. One or the other role. Are you really ready for being a leader? No. Why? Because most of the teachers out there will, teachers or anybody for that matter, will have an ambition of becoming a leader in a school, but you are already working as a teacher. The roles and responsibility of a teacher from teacher perspective is totally different, but for a leader it's completely different. How can a teacher get promoted and become a leader? It's not at all possible. If you are exposed to leadership quality by being an assistant to a principal regularly, maybe then you can develop some attributes. Otherwise, practically, everybody might feel that I can become a good leader and I want to be promoted, but it's not a simple task. And if anybody is becoming like that, these are the people called as leaders by position. But everybody should be given a chance. Yeah, we should wait for some time. Sabar rakhna chahiye. So 3 mahine tak, at least 3 months, leaders by positions are given an opportunity to learn the system. And in this particular system, they become leaders by action. So leaders by action are the people who are leaders by position. They take initiatives, set goals for everyone, act to bring change and influence through their knowledge, skills, and attitude. So I'll repeat it. When we talk about the leadership definition, there were 3 words associated: power, authority, and influence. And influence is the right way of a good leadership quality out there, right way of leading a team, I should say. And when we talk about influence, it's like the way you behave. You behave nicely. You have a vibration of a very positive mindset. Things around you will be completely positive, and that's exactly they're talking about leaders by action also. So these are the 4 attributes of becoming an effective secondary school leader. I hope everybody's getting the point of NCRT, whatever they're mentioning. Now, let me show you a small video of NCRT, whatever they talk about this particular attribute. And this will give you very good insight on the models of leadership. And here we go. I'm sharing the screen with the sound, and you shall be able to see this. Come on.
Leadership for learning is an important approach that has the potential to address cumulative learning deficit among students in India. What is the central idea behind leadership for learning? If all students have to learn, every other stakeholder within and outside education system must engage in learning consciously as lifelong learners. According to Hallinger, 3 dimensions are critical for all stakeholders in leadership for learning. They are values, knowledge and experience, leadership focus, a belief in people's capacity. These are achieved through creating the vision and goals, setting up of relevant academic structures and processes, considering the context of leadership. What are the probable approaches to practice leadership for learning? At the institutional level, adopt workplace learning, overcome the pace and quality of learning among all stakeholders including children, support colleagues and subordinates to carve their own learning paths for efficacy in working, encourage key values that bring about positive changes in the entire education system such as transparency, integrity, openness without the fear of being wrongly judged, goal directedness, perseverance, pursue what is valued rather than what is measured. In practicing leadership for learning, schools must have enabling conditions for setting learning goals, creating vision, learning culture and evidence based planning. Principals practice academic supervision using different techniques, embed evaluation and feedback for future learning among all teachers. Principals to ensure that they receive feedback for self development, formation and sustenance of professional learning. Communities for teachers and school heads. In order to provide equitable and quality learning for all students, principals need to practice A. Instructional or academic leadership, B. Transformational leadership, C. Distributed leadership, D. Shared or collaborative leadership. Now, how to bring the people from different leadership positions to work together? develop an agreed and shared moral purpose among different leaders and stakeholders. Second, create a shared vision among all leaders and stakeholders. Third, encourage stakeholders to understand the deeper purpose of their roles and responsibilities. Fourth, build capacity of stakeholders. Fifth, evaluate for becoming active professional learners always. Sixth, develop an awareness for using data based decision making at all levels in the education system. In conclusion, leadership for learning is a multidimensional, multilateral process held together by a common purpose in which not only individuals and organizations are involved, but also different groups and specialized institutions working together for ensuring learning of all students and to achieve universalization of quality education.
Okay, that's the credits, and that's by NCERT. Thank you so much. So that was with respect to the summary of what exactly leadership types are. And to give you whatever she spoke about, I'm sure making a note of it would have been difficult. They have also given this in a very systematic tabular column, and that is coming on the screen. Here we are. Yes, I would like to share the screen. 1, 2, and 3. Here we go. I hope you're able to see this. Yes. So models on school leadership, these are the models that they talk about. So keeping in mind your attribute of what exactly you're going to do in your school, in your geography, with your set of teachers, with all the values associated, leadership for learning is the first thing. So right now, whatever we are undergoing as a training, whatever it could be, a 1 hour workshop or the training that I'll be showing a little later, it comes under the category of leadership for learning. But instructional academic leadership is part of it. Transformational leadership is part of it. Distributed leadership, shared leadership is part of it. And all of these things, considering the timeline, we are not really getting into the definitions of it. So I would request you to please take a screenshot of it, or else you can directly go to the NCERT portal where you will find the complete training program. So this is that link on Nishta, course number 8, School Leadership Concepts and Application. Now, this particular training program, whatever you're looking over here, is like the summary or just a small ice that's visible above an ocean. It's actually huge training program of nearly 30-35 hours, which is concise to around 1 hour or 1.5 hours maximum with this particular video. It's more like a summary. And that's what even we are trying to address with this particular workshop. Then you might ask me, where is the actual 30-35 hours? It's present in the NEPA portal or NCSL portal, which looks something like this. National Center for School Leadership by National Institute of Education Planning and Administration, which is NEPA and NCSL. And here you can see that there is something called as online PSLM. I click on that, and the moment I click on that, I'll get into the complete training program. Online program on school leadership and management. PSLM is program on school leadership and management. And you can see that these are the courses that are available. Perspective on school leadership, developing self, transforming teaching learning process with all algorithms and methods and charts, everything they've given. Building and leading teams, leading innovations, leading partnerships, leading school administration and consolidation, and drawing school development plan. Now, this is the complete training program. If you had completed this during the summer vacation, or at least before the first term, it will hugely benefit the current implementation plan. And this particular part is taken seriously. And we at Super Teacher have created a small training program of 20 hours. Within this 20 hours, apart from the certification that you will be receiving from Super Teacher, we will also enable you to get the certification from NCSL as well. So once you complete that, you get 2 certificates. And if you're interested for the training program, do mention that in the reflection form. Based on your input on the reflection form, I'll plan to execute this training program. If the training program happens, it'll happen during the weekdays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 5 days for 2 weeks, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the evening, accounting to 20 hours. I hope I'm making some sense. Yes. So now let's continue with our existing slides, which is more towards the conclusion part, and let's go forward. Now, leadership for learning, they have given a very good activity in the form of an interactive website. Let's go over here, and this particular website looks something like this. So once you click on this, you'll see that leadership for learning, LFL. First, they are creating the concepts that are required for a leadership execution for a leader. Second, they are using some metrics for monitoring if it is properly happening or not. And third, they are working on the execution plan. I'll repeat it. First is the concept, second is monitoring, and third is the execution plan. Now here in this case, what are the concepts? The moment I click on the plus symbol over here, so they completely talk about the meaning of that particular block. Then what are those things? Defining vision and curricular goals. Click on the plus and you'll see what exactly do they mean by it. So this particular HTML page or this particular website or web page gives you a very interactive way of understanding the meaning and the outline of the leadership for learning attribute. I'll repeat it. Leadership for learning is the theme of school leaders for the upcoming academic year. This is how you're going to lead your schools. Then you have got ensuring continuous professional development program, evidence-based planning and supervision. Then academic supervision at the core of LFL, which is more from monitoring purpose. Functions of an academic supervisor facilitator. Techniques of academic supervision, classroom observations and various things. Develop feedback mechanism for improvement of the school process. All from feedback mechanism, monitoring perspective, supervising things comes at the second level. The third is all about collaboration within across the system, like leadership for learning, this with the system linked with the school, and leading professional learning communities where you all go to the complexes, different Sahodaya complexes or principal where there is a meeting. So somewhere the collaboration happens over there. I'm not getting into the details of this as well because of its elaborate nature, but this is another important site that you need to go to understand the meaning of it. If you get time, please do that. If you do not, try thinking about joining the training program as well. Let me come back. I would like to show you one important thing, which is the final thing of today's session, talking about what are the three major qualities as a principal you are supposed to have. If you believe there are some major qualities that you need to have as a principal, you can put it on the chat. But however, NCERT talks about three important things. These are interesting, quite interesting. But the first one over here is the communication skills. Let me share my screen. And here we go. I share my screen. Sometimes it just comes out. Leadership skills में से सबसे पहले they talk about communication. Now in communication, it's divided into four areas. First is active listening skill. Have you ever seen a principal continuously talking and not listening? Very rare. Why? Because a principal will allow the teachers, the coordinators, everyone to speak first, and they'll be the last person in the room to talk about whatever the topic is, and that gives lot of control over the whole meeting. Just not the people, the whole meeting in itself, including the content. So that's interesting, right? Understanding others and seeking to be understood by others. So if you are listening properly, you have that attribute of understanding the other person. There are multiple situations which I would like to tell. Let me complete this. And understood by others is an expectation, and as a leader you are supposed to expect that. If you are an individual, people say that ye duniya jo bole mujhe farak nahi padta, whatever the world says I don't care about it. I will live life the way I want. But that cannot happen in a system. It cannot happen in a school kind of a system. Of course, it's democracy, but somewhere we need to abide by the rules and regulations, respecting the organization out there. So understanding others and seeking to be understood by others is an important attribute. Reframing and collaborative negotiation. Have you ever come across a situation where, um, let's take this scenario. Ma'am, you are not, if a leader is speaking like this, ma'am, you're not coming to school on time. What is wrong with you? This is one way of asking. What is wrong with you? You're not coming to school on time. It's one way of asking. The other way is, ma'am, can I help you with some problem that you're facing because of which you're coming late to school? I'll repeat it. Can I help you because of which you're regularly, there's some problem somewhere because of which you're coming late to school? So this is a second way of addressing the same issue. A principle is defined over here. A leader is defined exactly at this moment. Now, when we reframe the whole statement in a positive outlook, we show the characteristics of empathy. And once we show characteristics of empathy, the person who's actually facing the problem gets involved in the process and you become approachable in nature. One more very nice thing is most principals out there, they have this attribute of positive statements. They will not say, do not forget to do this. I have given you this task. Do not forget to do this. No, they will not say this. They'll say that I've given this task. Remember to do this. Now, do not forget to do this is completely different. Remember to do this is completely different. I mean, the way you speak, but the meaning is one and the same, right? So the way you talk, the way you communicate your information, your ideas matters a lot. That creates the vibes. Just imagine how many of you felt nervous while standing beside your principal. If that nervousness is out of fear or scare, that's actually negative. But if that fear is out of respect, out of inspiration, then that is positive leadership. Anytime you can have that nervousness, that's totally fine, but what is it out of, what is it result of it? Today if I go and stand besides Narendra Modi or any big leader out there, I'll feel nervous. Why will I feel nervous? Is it going to be because of the fear that we have, they might kill me and things like that? No, it's not because of that. It's because of the respect and the inspiration that we have for them. This is what a leader should look out for through communication skills. Collaborative negotiation is all about whenever there is a conflict happening in a school, call the people, make them sit together and let them talk. That is how collaboration happens. Let's continue further. A small activity to define on this. I would request everybody to please participate on this. And here we go. So yeah, you can see this. Great. So characterize whether the given communications are violent or non-violent. So according to NCERT course, they're dividing the whole setup of communication skills into two parts of violent and non-violent. We'll do it very fast. There are going to be certain words. You tell me if it's violent or not. Put it on the chat. Uh, Collaborative work style. Does it come under non-violent communication or violent communication? Collaborative work style. Put it on the chat. Violent. No, it's non-violent. Exactly. Collaboration. It's a good attribute. I'm going to select non-violent and I click here. Yes, that's a correct attribute. Let's go with the next one. Negotiation. Negotiation. Negotiation is important. It's not argument. It's negotiation. Negotiation is violent. No. Let's click on non-violent. Oh, yes, it's non-violent. It's not argument. It's negotiation. Asks for suggestion. Oh, definitely not violent. Okay, let's go forward. Supportive. Obviously, I don't even have to ask this. Non-violent. Let's go for it. Reflection. Oh, reflection is important. Some principals ask the teachers to self-reflect on themselves. Is that non-violent or violent? Definitely non-violent. Let's go forward. And empathy, violent, right? No, non-violent. Let's go forward. And then abuse, physical, emotional, mental abuse. Some people say na harassment hota hai school mein. Now that's with respect to violent. Yeah, let's go with that. So I select this. Yes, it's violent. Authoritative, violent or non-violent? Authoritative is definitely violent. Okay, let's go forward. Judgmental. Some principals have judgments about, okay, this lady na, अच्छा ये ना वहां की है, तो इसका attitude ऐसे ही होगा. This lady is from that particular location, so her attitude will be like that only. That's called as judgment. Very wrong. It's a non-violent communication. Exactly. Huh? Oh, it's a violent communication. I'm so sorry. Yeah, let's continue further. Demanding. Yeah, demanding. You have to do this by tomorrow, 12 o'clock. Otherwise, don't come to school. Violent. Let's go forward. Yes. Conflict. Definitely violent. Having a fight. Expresses concern. Definitely non-violent. Okay, let's go forward. Non-supportive nature. Non-supportive. So violent hona chahiye na? Correct. It's violent. Condescending attitude. It's like I am your superior. Condescending attitude. It's patronizing superiority complex. So it's definitely violent. Violent. Yes, it's violent. Tries to solve problems. Non-violent. I hope everybody is able to understand the violent and non-violent communication attributes. Aggressive is definitely violent. So when we keep continuing on this, I think it's almost completed. That's great. So that's great. You answered all the questions. This is from the Diksha portal. Yeah, that's great. Let's continue, teachers, and we will have the other two qualities, and then we'll close for the session. Just another 5 minutes maximum. So right after leadership skills on communication, the next one, which a school leader faces on day-to-day basis among students, among parents, among teachers, among the support staff, is called as conflicts. Conflict resolution is ideas by two different people contradicting to each other. And it's very important for a principal to focus on the problem and not on the people. When we start focusing on the people, we get diverted based on our opinions about the person. The most intelligent or good person in a school, in the principal's book, can be wrong in case of a conflict. So look at the problem, not the people. Be courteous if it is affecting somebody because somebody's blamed over here. Let's understand the person and not come from insult point of view. A very good point that I mentioned. Keep your conversations or decisions confidential. Some teachers are called separately. They're not spoken in front of everyone. No, do not do that. It can affect them morally. Rather than impose a resolution, ask the people involved to come up with a solution together. If it's a war, like science is a better subject, maths is a better subject, something like that. English teachers are calm. Let them fight. I am the most important. I know that. Something like that. If that happens, like rather than imposing a resolution, let the people themselves come into a conclusion and allow that fight to happen for sometimes. Sometimes these chaos or fights can be productive as well. So very clearly they mention chaos can be fruitful. This is spoken by a district education officer, DEO, on that course. Align people with the school's vision and goals. End of the day, when the principal is regularly talking to the people, the school people, automatically the vision and goals gets matched. Then finally, the last quality that this course is mentioning, it's just the beginning of the course, called as stress management. The stress management is just not a problem of a school leader, it's also for a teacher. But when we talk about initiatives, sometimes a principal tends to be super active, and out of pushing yourselves attitude, you come up with so many initiatives that keeping a track of all of them becomes a very difficult task. Somewhere it is very important to tell yourself, let us take it aram se. Slow and steady wins the race definitely all the time. At least let's take a time to spend time with the family, take a holiday. These will rejuvenate your mental qualities to be more productive in the upcoming weeks and months. So ek saal mein summer vacation is not enough to run the whole year of academic session. It's like 2 days I'll continuously eat and 1 week I'll not eat anything. Do we work like that? No, our body does not work like that. Our mentality also doesn't work like that. So let's take multiple breaks is what they talk about. And that's coming under the category of stress management. That's it, teachers. So these are some of the attributes from leadership qualities. And whatever we have spoken about, everything is present in the form of a course under the NEPA website, and those details are present in the NEPA website. I showed you. If you want to see it again, I'll share the screen once more. And I would like to end the session of this particular day of school leadership being the first part with a small video of Times of India. I think some of you might actually know about it. You would have seen this. And finally, after that, you can fill up the reflection form. Please answer the query of your the school leader workshop. If you would like to take part of it, depending on the number of yes, I'll start the session as soon as possible. So these are some of the topics that comes under Super School Leadership Certification Program from us and also by NCSL. Let's go forward for the video. Have you seen Tum Chalo to Hindustan Chale, Times of India? Watch this.
सर आपके लिए उस पार कार का इंतजाम किया है सर आइए सर ये चल चल
Super school leadership or school leadership concepts. Thank you so much, teachers, chairmen, directors, principals who trusted in this and joined the session today. It was great interacting with one and all the participants to Zoom and on even the YouTube live session. Great interacting with one and all. Great participation on both the chat windows. We'll be coming again with another session, amazing session on the next Super Sunday workshop. And we'll keep informing you about any CPD programs if they are happening from our side. And in case if any school out there would like to have a separate CPD program for your set of school teachers, please do contact us. I'll be helping you in executing them. That's it. That's it. Thank you so much. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next Sunday. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, the reflection form is coming on the chat. Thank you, Mrs. S. Rai. Means a lot. Thank you, Sonashri ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, somehow within 1 hour this got over. I was really skeptic about it. I was not sure if we will be able to complete it, but yeah, there was quite a rush during the instructions. Leadership is a huge topic. I would humbly request everyone to please go through the documents given by the Ministry of Education, NEPA. Dr. Maithili is the person, Dr. Maithili and Dr. Charu Smita. These are the two people who have designed that very good work under the leadership of Rashmi Dhawan. Yeah. So once during the Super Sunday workshop, I would like to, I would be inviting them and we can have a direct conversation with the people who are creating this. I'm in already discussion with some of the officials. And during such kind of times, you can have direct interaction with all these people. Let's see, the people who are actually keep making the policies. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Vaishali ma'am. Harita ma'am, thank you so much. Thank you, means a lot. Thank you, Asha ma'am. Let's see. Use the Super Sunday workshop as an opportunity to understand the latest updates of Indian education system. And once you know the story behind what's happening around, your conversation with the children will completely change. It'll be quite broader, diverse, intellectual. It'll be interesting. End of the day, and you'll have a confidence that I know more. Yeah, that what better way of going to school? I know more. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Share the links with other teachers also. We will make sure that these Sundays are productive for next 4 years, 5 years, or forever. Let's see. Thank you, Sanchita ma'am. Means a lot. Means a lot. Fill up the reflection form. I would request all the teachers to be a little patient on the certification part. 15 days, you should be getting it. If you do not, please mail it to swati@superteacher.in. The reflection form will get closed at 6 o'clock today. So before that, try to fill it up. Thank you, Vanita ma'am. Thank you. The reflection form is coming on the chat, Seema ma'am. Yeah, Seema ma'am, this is on YouTube also. Whatever I'm speaking, everything will be there on YouTube. And this will be already spoken by NCERT on YouTube. I also learned from there and I'm presenting it to you. Nothing new. Yes, it's just that I'm bringing some regularity and create my own PPTs so that the things become concise. The actual video of leadership is around 2.5 hours on YouTube. So within 1 hour, we have concise that. That's it. Hope so. That's great. Good. Thank you. Yes, that makes the difference, Meenakshi ma'am. You're right. Seema ma'am, this will be there on YouTube. Yes. Tanya ma'am, that's a good question. Yes, these are accountable from my side. Yes, definitely. Why not? But it is the call of your school principal to decide if this can be considered or not. These are free workshops and the reflection form consists of a small assignment with some questions also. So definitely you are good with the certification. And this certification is valid for the CPDRs under the in-house training program. And in-house training program ka jo category hai, that is completely dependent on a principal. So you take these certificates and tell principal that I've been regularly attending. Can you please allot me some hours? So if you've attended, say, 15 Sundays, which accounts to 15 hours, maybe your principal considers 5 hours or 6 hours out of it. Who knows? Yeah, think about it. You can just definitely share it with your principals. Okay, that's great, Tanya ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Chalo, let's close the session for today. And I'll be meeting you with another amazing topic next Super Sunday workshop. Bye, everyone. Jai Hind. Thank you, Mahalingu sir. That's very nice of you. Thank you, Vasundhara ma'am. Good to see you. Great. Thank you, Shubhra ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dhara. Purnima, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. I strive to give good information. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rishali. Thank you, Shubhra ma'am. Thank you, Harinder ma'am. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Vasundhara ma'am. That's a very flattery statement. I feel really good. I'm blushing literally. Thank you so much. Means a lot. I try to use Hindi in between, but considering this being from an Indian context, there are schools from South as well, or Northeastern states where people find Hindi a little difficult. So I thought, yeah, that's why I keep it to English. Thank you, Vishnu Priya ma'am. Thank you, Arpita ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Debashri ma'am, Lalita ma'am. Yeah. Mahalinga sir, if you fill the reflection form, you can see my number over there. You can contact me directly. Rashmi ma'am, you have my number in the reflection form. Please message me. I'll be able to contact you. Oh, okay. Leadership. You're talking about only this topic, Vasundhara ma'am? No, not Hindi. It's not of much application in Hindi. Or all the topics? Most topics are not subject specific that we talk over here, so that all the subject teachers can come and gain out of it. Yeah. Great. Thank you, Harinder ma'am. अच्छा लगा सुन के. Thank you, Sumitra ma'am. Thank you so much. Purnima ma'am, you can mention that on the reflection form. I'll launch the course very soon. Thank you. Great. Okay, the home duties are calling me. Yeah, thank you so much, teachers. I'll meet you again in the next Super Sunday workshop. Oh, thank you, Radhika ma'am. That's a big word. Yeah, it's just a normal communication that I'm trying to have, but thank you very much. I respect that. Yeah, chalo. Bye, everyone. Take care.